Hey guys, it's MD80. I'm back with another video I don't want to have to make. Recently I found myself in some controversy involving Miniaturejoshey. I need to start with some backstory, however, to give you a better understanding of the situation I'm currently in. In early 2020, I was a 10-star Skywars player in search of a guild. I was in the lobby asking if anyone had a guild, and I was invited to Hypixel Nerds, a guild owned by Miniaturejoshey. In the next few months, I made my way up in the guild, and eventually Miniaturejoshey asked that I temporarily take over the guild, as he was not going to be online for reasons I will not get into, in respect for his privacy. I ended up leaving shortly after this, as Miniaturejoshey never left for long enough to need my help in the guild. I transferred over to Salmons, a guild owned by Crash Cup. It was during this time I first saw the tweet from AnonymousEXT. The tweet contained the following disgusting screenshots, which I will not read out loud as they make me uncomfortable. I confronted Miniaturejoshey as soon as I had seen the tweet, as I naively assumed at the time he wasn't capable of doing something like that. I should also add that we live very close to each other, and I was hoping he wasn't the person the screenshots made him out to be, as I thought it would be fun to have a member of the Minecraft community within driving distance of me. We had begun to talk quite a bit, and what he had said was genuinely sad to me and my friends who knew him. I confronted him with the screenshots, and he first replied with, "That's not Disco, that's Anony," meaning AnonymousEXT. I said, "Oh sorry, yes, anonymous." I saw this as odd, because if I was in a situation where I was being called out for something as terrible as this, I would not have first replied by focusing on minor, irrelevant details. Anyways, Miniaturejoshey then responded with a Discord server that supposedly had evidence that addressed the claims. I did not take screenshots of the contents to my knowledge, but to sum up what I found within the server, I will read my next messages. I first asked if they were real screenshots, because I was still hopeful he hadn't sent those messages. He then shows me he is able to edit messages on Discord, which is all the proof he provided in the Discord server he invited me to. Miniaturejoshey states he could fake that screenshot in 30 seconds. He asked me to say something in chat. I said, yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. Well, let me read the response. He responds with this screenshot, which is our conversation thus far, along with me saying some random garbage. To be clear, there were no actual screenshots from him to prove his innocence in that server. Just him talking about how easy it is to fake screenshots. This will be important later as well. He then focuses on something irrelevant, this time being my satirical Discord status that I still use. He asks me if I'm on a hacked client, when in reality I just have a fake status of VapeV2. I explain the status quickly. I continue on about the screenshot he had just faked, and he says it's scary, right? It took me less than 30 seconds. All of this happened a year ago, but the groups keep spreading the pictures every now and then. They even bought my vids. They also said I hacked 24 accounts, so shrugging emoji. He says he was targeted by a group, which is not what those screenshots suggest, as what he said seems to be confined to one person from what is publicly available. He asks if I am writing him an essay, which was because it took me a long time to write this out. I said, look, I understand it's possible that these messages were faked, however you did not have any evidence in the form of screenshots to prove your innocence. In this case, I see it as screenshots versus written word, to put it simply. That is not enough for me to believe you. I will be blocking you on Discord now, as I don't want to associate with anyone whom has been accused of something of this nature. If more evidence comes out, I may revert that decision, but until now, goodbye. That demonstrates exactly what the Discord server contained. At this point I blocked him. Sometime later, Miniaturejoshey got a friend of mine to ask me to unblock him, and he said this. Dumb idiot noob. Got more proof. Took their only argument and tossed it out the window. You're stupid, by the way. I responded with a question mark, okay, as I was confused as to why he was attacking me while also trying to prove his innocence. Again, not the way I would have handled the same situation. He responds with the following. You said when more proof came out you'd revert your decision. And this is where I start to question whether he was under the influence in some way as he stopped making sense. The following shows just how delusional Miniaturejoshey is in regards to what he has done in the past. And again, this will be important later. I clarified with good proof, not more useless, and he responds with taking their only argument and tossing it out the window is good proof. I said, what is it that you're arguing? He says, what? I said, what's your argument then? He said, I don't have one technically. I just disprove every screenshot they come up with. I said, the fuck? Why did you ask me to message you then? He says, because. I said, I don't want to deal with this. He said, you're the idiot who believes them, not my fault. It's been reset to her word against mine and all the proof is void. I said, fuck off, honestly. Stop wasting my time. After I said that, I blocked him again. From that point on, I didn't hear much from Miniaturejoshey, as I had blocked him on all platforms and ignored him on Hypixel. I made a few joke tweets regarding the situation, which I will put on screen now. This is where the situation takes a turn for the worse regarding my involvement with them. I had been harassed by Miniaturejoshey and his friends for a while on Hypixel, with people messaging me things like this in-game. I addressed them on Twitter as I wanted to explain why I was turning off my in-game messages. Miniaturejoshey reached out and apologized for Alt-Q, which I found confusing, as Alt-Q had already apologized to me directly, and as I and Miniaturejoshey are not on good terms. On July 3rd, I was playing Skywars when I queued Miniaturejoshey. He went salmon and taunted me all game as he usually does when he queues me, although I would only see the last few messages he sent as I ignore or removed him to see exactly what he was saying. He ended up winning, and I sent the following toxic message. This is something I immediately regretted. I want to take a second to apologize, as what I said in that message is wrong despite whatever prior interactions I had with Miniaturejoshey. Telling someone to kill themselves will never be okay. Even though Miniaturejoshey has done disgusting things in the past, suicide is never the answer. Seeking help is much more important through therapy or other means. What I said in chat does not reflect how I felt at the time. The message was too far and not necessary at all. That brings us to the next part of the situation. On July 3rd, the same day I sent the message, Miniaturejoshey messaged me on Twitter about what I had said. I did not see the message at first, as it was filtered into the message requests list. I initially only saw his message about Alt-Q, and I was angry that he had sent people to harass me, so I sent him, "Are you telling people to harass me? Because from all the messages I've received over the past months from random low-level players, it sure seems like it. Those were only 3 screenshots. I have plenty of other cases where I get messages from other randoms about you." He asked for more screenshots, which I never added as I did not feel like going through my screenshots folder to solve a conflict I already felt I had solved by turning off my direct messages. He then added, "You can't just tell me to kill myself and expect a response." I'm assuming he meant, "You can't just tell me to kill myself and not expect a response." But no, I never asked anyone to harass you. Yes, I understand that it was too far and I apologize. However, if you did do the things I've seen screenshots of, you are not a useful member of society, to put it lightly. Intentionally using strategies that are annoying goes along well with your attention-seeking nature, so I'm not sure what your goal is other than to make people hate you. While this was somewhat harsh, I do stand by most of what I said, although again, I went too far with my chat message, and I feel that seeking help is what Miniaturejoshey should do. I should not have justified what I said in those messages, although the points that he is intentionally trying to make people angry and his attention-seeking still stand. This is where I confront him about the post from testuser429 I had seen on my Twitter page. Some backstory, I had seen testuser429 comment on multiple posts related to Miniaturejoshey. I had ignored it as I thought it was some attention-seeking person who still didn't believe Miniaturejoshey was guilty. Testuser429 is an account that claims to not be Miniaturejoshey, however I have confirmed that this account is owned by him. On July 7th, I posted a tweet that began to gain some traction. Soon afterwards, as I was checking my notifications, I saw testuser429 had replied to my tweet with this screenshot. I was immediately scared, as I had never been in a situation like this where false information was being spread around about me that could be so damaging to my reputation in the Minecraft community. I knew the screenshot was faked, but to an outside perspective of someone who didn't know me well and was just trying to check the replies of an interesting tweet, it would look incredibly bad. I immediately hid the reply and reported the tweet, as that was all I could think to do at the time. As my tweet began to gain more traction, I had some users check the hidden replies and notice the screenshot. One took a screenshot of the screenshot and replied to my tweet in an attempt to bring more attention to the fake screenshot. Some users noticed and replied with things like, "In before I get hidden too." This really started to bother me, and I didn't hide the replies and tried to explain the situation to them. It seems someone had already explained that screenshot was faked, and they deleted the reply before I even explained my side via DMs. I confronted Miniaturejoshey about testuser's replies to my tweet, as I already had suspicions testuser was him. I replied with, "Look, I know what you're trying to prove with editing what I said, but I would rather you didn't post it on my Twitter page," which is a reference to the earlier Discord messages, in which his only proof was that messages are easily faked. He said that the screenshot was not his doing, and he just posted what I said to him in his Discord server. He said he knows testuser429 is in his Discord server, so he can work on removing them. I reply with, "Well, do that, because what they posted is edited and I don't feel like making another drama video where I have to explain shit like this. What testuser posted was way too far, and I'd ask that you tell them to remove it." He said if he knew who they were, he'd kick them from their server. but since he doesn't, there's nothing he can do, and that maybe I shouldn't have said it. I realize now when he said you shouldn't have said it, he's not referencing my toxic message on July 3rd. He's acting as though I actually said the things in the edited screenshot. I say, LMAO, well, I'm not too bothered because worst case scenario I'll just have to make another video, which is annoying, but it is what it is. He responds with, wait, you said he posted stuff on your Twitter. I don't see anything. Which is another case of him talking about something irrelevant. I explained that the tweets were flagged by Twitter, which is not the case, however I didn't want to explain to him that I hid the tweets and reported them. He says he still cannot see the tweets, and I explained that he must be blocked or that Twitter had already removed the tweets. I then realized that to be able to edit the message with inspect element, you would need to be logged into Miniaturejoshey's account in the first place. This was something I hadn't realized, and I sent, by the way, it's pretty obvious it was you who edited the screenshot, so I'm not sure why you felt the need to lie about that. He continues to talk about how tweets work after being blocked, which is again irrelevant. He says, it's not my fault you're so toxic, so, which made me realize that he has no intention of removing the fake screenshots. I responded with, question mark? It's your fault you edited the messages and tried to pass it off as someone else. He responds with, who or what is toy, which is clearly a misspelling of the word you. I clarify, and he responds with, you think I'm smart enough to edit messages? I'm flattered. I respond with the screenshots of him editing my messages back in April. I said, STFU, you know you're capable of it. I'm done with this useless conversation. I already said I went too far, but you are absolutely in the wrong as well. He responds with, that's inspect element, not editing messages, which is confusing as using inspect element is still editing messages. The following is back and forth about his ability to edit messages on various platforms, which I won't read as it's not important. He finally says he did not edit the messages. He just screenshotted my toxic message to him and posted it on his server. I said, okay, invite me to your server then, as I wanted to see for myself exactly what he had posted. He asked, what server? Which again confused me because there is only one server that we recently talked about. I explained that I have no reason to believe him based off of his word alone. And I said, what do you mean what server? Whichever server you posted the screenshot in. He sent me the following screenshot, which shocked me. It is a screenshot of him posting the edited Twitter DM that test user had been distributing, which proves he was not only the one to edit it, but he was likely the one to post it on test user as well. I respond with, LMFAO, I thought so you edited it beforehand, and one of your 10 members posted on an account that totally isn't you, and you can't figure out who the owner of test user 429 is. At this point we talk about the amount of Discord members that can be shown on a members list. I respond with, I don't really care to be honest. The fact that you edited the screenshots in the first place is enough, and then lied. He responds with, insane demons require many hours of practice, which I can't do when arguing with you. I didn't edit anything. All I did was screenshot it and post it like with all the toxicity I see. It was at this point, particularly after reading the last message, that I realized that Miniaturejoshey is somehow not capable of properly reasoning and is living in his own world where he believes he is always right and has done nothing wrong. I respond with, I can't even tell what you mean by the first message, and then suggest he seeks help as I genuinely believe he may be having some kind of trouble as of right now. That is all for this video. I hope this clears some things up. I cannot justify what I said in my toxic message, and I will learn from this experience and try to make better choices when talking publicly to others. If you have any further questions or would like to talk, please add me on Discord. My tag is MD80 number 5018. Thank you for watching.